Misdirected ambition is manipulation, and we see manipulation run rampant in David's kingdom. You see that through Joab, Shimei, Abiathar, and other men who are actually called on the carpet in 1 Kings 3 through 6. So Solomon, who's now king, marries Pharaoh's daughter, and then he goes to Gibeon and make a sacrifice to the Lord. And while he's there, in a dream, the Lord comes to him and says, "What do you ask me for?" Solomon, who could ask for anything he wanted, he asks for a receptive heart that is able to discern between good and evil. And God is pleased that he asks for this. Because God is pleased, he says, because you didn't ask for things like long life and riches, but rather discernment in order to carry out justice, I'm going to give you both discernment to carry out justice and long life and riches. We see young Solomon's wisdom already at work in the story of the two women and the baby. So the story goes that there's two women who each had a baby around the same time, and one of the babies died. The woman of the baby who passed steals the baby that was still alive. And it's now these two women's words against each other. So they bring it before the king and argue their case, and the real mom says, "She stole my baby," and Solomon says, "I have an idea, go ahead and get me a sword, we're going to divide the baby in half, and that way you can each have half a baby." The real mom says, "No, don't do that, let him live, give him to this other woman." The woman who stole the baby says, "Yes, let's go ahead and do that," and she tries to call him on his bluff. Solomon realizes that the woman who is the real mom is the one who cared more about the child living than about having her own way, whereas the one who stole the baby is the one who cared more about having her own way than the child. So he gives the baby to the real mom. Themes of manipulation and justice, and even this story is about manipulation and justice, and Solomon is showing us where manipulation was allowed to run rampant in David's kingdom. It's now being taken care of under Solomon. He shows us that the antidote for misdirected ambition, aka manipulation, is justice, and the tool for carrying out justice is wisdom. Solomon's very act of asking for wisdom instead of his own personal ambition redeems justice in the house of David. But not only that, but it foreshadows the justice that is to come. That when Satan chooses selfish ambition and killing the Son of God in order to get what he wants, his efforts are defeated by Jesus willingly laying down his own life, setting aside all weapons of personal ambition, fully fulfilling the law and paying for our sins through his sacrifice, which is ultimately